Hey everybody, so today I wanted to come and talk to you guys and give you some tips on something that I literally get asked all the time for people that want to make a lifestyle, a diet change, and that is, how do I go vegan? That is probably one of the most frequently asked questions that I get for people that just want to know how they should go about jump-starting the transition into a plant-based diet, or even people that just want to incorporate more plant-based meals into their diet. So I'm going to share some things that have helped me, and I think they will help you as well, especially for those of you that are just starting out. You don't really know too much, but you want to get into it, you want to learn more. This is the video for you. Really quickly, a little background on me and my journey for those of you that may not know. I have been on a completely vegan diet for over 5 years now. I'm not sure exactly how long it's been. It's definitely been more than 5 years. It might be even 6 or 7. My health is great. I have no issues. I feel wonderful. I feel the best that I have in my entire life since I have transitioned into a plant-based diet. I have a video that I did a little while back detailing all of the positive changes that I have experienced while on a vegan diet. I will link that video below, and I'll also put it over here if I can. And for me, the switch was organic. It was just something that naturally happened. I started to become really grossed out by meat. I started to just see animal parts on my plate, and as time went on, that kind of just propelled me into moving to a completely plant-based diet. But I was raised on meat. My entire family, all my friends, they are meat eaters, so it was definitely something that was different than what I was used to. So that's my story in a nutshell. But whatever your reasoning is for wanting to completely switch to a plant-based diet or just get more into it, I have 7 tips that will help all of you. So my first tip is to switch out your staple cooking items and your condiments for vegan friendly options. If you're just starting out, this is the easiest thing to do. A lot of us use milk and butter to cook our dishes, and with milk you have so many different vegan options, and you can use them for cereal, you can use them in batters, you can use them in baking. As for butter, my go-to is Earth Balance. It tastes terrific, it melts, you can make sauces with it. You can do everything with this that you could with regular butter. And when you do this, it's not jarring because all you're doing is taking what you're used to and substituting it with a plant-based alternative. And you guys, I've mentioned this before, but I am in a mixed household, and what I mean by that is that not everyone is on a plant-based diet. Some members of my household do eat meat. However, all of our condiments like mayonnaise, dressings, sauces, all of them are vegan. We all use the same ones, and no one has ever had an issue. No one has ever had a complaint. Actually, they prefer now the vegan versions of condiments. They taste really good. You're not going to be missing out on any of the flavor. You can give these to a meat eater, and I promise they probably wouldn't even know the difference. And then some things that you probably use all the time as well, like ketchup and mustard, they're already vegan, so of course you wouldn't have to change those. So switching out your condiments to their vegan counterparts is where I would definitely recommend that you guys start. My next tip is to be gradual, move at your own pace. Ease into it because you don't want to feel overwhelmed or deprived. You don't want to get discouraged. Don't think that you have to hit a switch and go vegan overnight. Some people can do that, and that's great, but other people, it takes them a little longer. For me, it literally took years for me to make the full transition. Part of the reason for that is I didn't initially set out, like it wasn't a thought in my mind like I want to go vegan, that's my end goal. Like I said, it was just a natural progression for me. But when the vegan light bulb went off in my head, I was like, oh, I'm already on this path. I might as well just make the switch completely. But yes, go at your own pace. Slowly eliminate meats from your diet. For me, I cut out pork first because that was the meat that I really didn't eat that much. Red meat was next. Then I cut out white meat like chicken and turkey. And then finally, the last thing was seafood. I was hanging on to that for a little while, but when I found some really good vegan seafood like alternatives, I was set. I was like, okay, I can do this. And the good thing about taking out one meat group at a time is that you don't feel like it's too much at once, and this way you're gradually phasing out the meat that you're eating. Once you have cut out one group and you feel comfortable with that, you feel like you're on good footing, you can move on to the next group, and each step can go as fast or slow as what works for you. Once you remove one, you naturally find something that can take its place. You find new things, you find new foods that you like that will fill in for the foods that you used to eat. My next tip is to veganize your current favorite foods. The foods that you already like to eat, the dishes that you enjoy, you make a lot. I guarantee you there's probably a way to veganize it. There's probably a vegan version of the foods that you already eat. And this is a really great way to still get the look, the flavor of what you're used to, but just getting it plant-based. For this, if you want to do it gradually, you can maybe change one meal at a time. So for example, the first week you could do all vegan breakfast. So whatever you would normally eat for breakfast, maybe you would have oatmeal, maybe you would have some type of scramble or omelet, pancakes, French toast, something like that. You can definitely veganize it. And I have actually made all those things on my channel in my vegan food videos. So you can start out by veganizing what you eat for breakfast. Then once you have that down, you can move on to veganizing what you have for lunch. And then once you have that down, you can veganize what you have for dinner. Starting out especially, I leaned on faux meats. And this is a good option for those of you that are just starting out because it does mimic what you are used to, and a lot of them are very tasty. They have nuggets, they have burgers. I've even seen vegan shrimp. They have ground crumbles that resemble ground meat that you can make tacos with, spaghetti, all types of stuff like that. And a lot of, just your regular neighborhood markets are carrying this stuff. So you don't have to go to these specialty stores. A lot of places that you already shop at have these items. My next tip is to plan out your meals. Meal planning is key, especially when you're just starting out. I've gotten a lot of comments from people like, I don't know what to eat sometimes. I get bored. I'm eating the same things. And so that's why I'm turning back to the meat, because I'm just running out of ideas. So my suggestion for that is each week, I like to do this on Sunday right before I do my grocery shopping. Plan out what you're going to eat for the upcoming week. And I like to plan out 2 breakfast options, 2 lunch options, 2 dinner options, and 2, maybe 3 snack options. Once I have that down, I know what I need to get from the market and I'm set. I only have to think about what I'm gonna eat one time. The rest of the week is smooth sailing. And you can find ideas just by doing internet searches. Pinterest is a really good resource for that. If you're looking for breakfast ideas, just type in vegan breakfast ideas. A whole bunch of stuff will come up, and pick from what you see that catches your eye, something that looks interesting to you. I also have a whole playlist dedicated to vegan food. My what I eat in a day videos are really good in my opinion for meal ideas, and I show exactly how I make all the meals I'm gonna eat if you guys wanna step-by-step walkthrough type of thing. But yeah, meal planning definitely helps you to stay on track and stick with it. And it also saves you money because you're not going to be out there spending your hard-earned dollars on just random stuff. Everything that you get is going to have a purpose. My next tip, go on a vegan food tour. And what I mean by that is you can go on a site like Yelp or something similar, type in vegan restaurants or vegan options in your area, see what pops up, read the reviews, and whatever looks good to you, try them out. This really helps you to discover new meals, new things that you may not have thought of yourself, different ways of preparing certain foods. This really gets you out there, and an added benefit is that you're around people that are on the same wavelength that you are. So that's really helpful. You might meet someone that you vibe with, that you can get some advice from. But yeah, getting out there, trying new vegan restaurants, trying new vegan dishes, it gives you a feel for what you like. It gives you a feel for all the options that are out there. And I get so many meal ideas from things that I get at restaurants. And a lot of people ask me like, Kim, where do you come up with this? Some of the things I make at home are things that I've eaten out, and I'm like, ooh, I like that a lot. Let me try to recreate it at home. So that should give you a heck of a lot of inspiration, and you should never run out of meal ideas when you do this. Even if you don't go physically to the restaurants, this is a free hack. You can look up the vegan restaurant online, look at their menu, and you can get meal ideas from there. My next tip is to keep an open mind. I cannot tell you how much of a benefit just being open-minded is in this journey. Back in my meat eating days, I was very closed-minded. I was like, no, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't want to eat this, it looks weird. And I really missed out on a lot. I literally didn't know that I liked things like olives, mushrooms, hummus, until, way later in life, which is kind of sad. But once I started just being more open-minded, once I started to be open to experimenting, I started to fall in love with foods that I never would have thought, and it just opened up a whole new world for me. It opened up a whole new range of possibilities, but I never would have tried a lot of things if I hadn't changed my mindset. So changing your mindset, being more open-minded, being open to experimentation is something you definitely have to do. I also was one of those people who hated tofu, or I thought I hated tofu. I think it was just the look of it or the way that I had seen it prepared. Y'all know I love me some tofu now. It's all in how you prepare it, how you season it, how you dress it up, and that's true for most things. It's all in how you prepare it, and you can probably find a way to prepare almost anything that will taste good. My next tip is to be gentle on yourself during this process. People ask me sometimes if I've ever slipped up, if I ever eat meat occasionally here and there, and the answer is absolutely not. In over 5 years, I have not had one piece of any type of meat. But it's funny because I had someone one time who insisted that I must eat some type of organic grass-fed meat every now and then, because I guess they just couldn't believe that I could be as healthy and thriving on a completely plant-based diet, which was craziness. But no, I don't eat any meat. However, in the past 5+ years, have I eaten something that, unbeknownst to me at the time, contained eggs, milk, something non-vegan like that I found out about later? Yes, it has happened maybe 3 or 4 times. It hasn't happened a lot, but am I gonna freak out about it? Am I gonna beat myself up about it? Am I gonna be stressed? No, I'm not gonna do that. The point of life is to be happy, is to enjoy it. If you make a slip up, if you backslide and you start eating meat again, don't feel bad about it. Don't be hard on yourself. Just use that as a learning lesson and, you know, push through, move forward, and do the best you can. So those were my tips for those of you that are starting out. You want to get into more plant-based eating. If you have any other specific questions, leave them below in the comment section. I might do a part 2 to this video. So now I just want to touch on some concerns and things that I'm always hearing about regarding, you know, a vegan plant-based diet. One thing is cost. Some people think that you have to be rich or you have to spend a lot of money to eat this way, and that is absolutely not the case, you guys. However, when you're starting out, if you're buying a lot of meat substitutes, then yes, you might see an increase to what you're used to spending, because some of the faux meats, they are a little more pricey than their counterparts. But what I found is that once you get the hang of this whole thing, you start to lean on those a lot less. I know for me at this stage, I don't even use faux meats a lot now. I use them every once in a while if I'm feeling lazy and I don't want to make something myself. But I can make stuff like black bean burgers, which are super cheap to make. I can make crabless cakes. I can make a chickpea salad, which is like an alternative to tuna salad. I can make so many things without buying faux meats. So once you get to a point where you're comfortable, you can start to phase those out if you want to. If you still want to lean on faux meats, that's perfectly fine. It's up to you. Another thing that I see a lot is that it can get awkward in social situations if you're going somewhere where there's food and you're the only one that is on a plant-based diet. And yes, it can be a little tricky navigating that. What I would suggest is to ask ahead if you can, see what's going to be served. If they don't have anything that you're going to be able to eat, maybe bring something when you go that you can have so you're not feeling left out. And you can also share it with other people so they can get a taste of some vegan food. A lot of times when I've gone to places and they have like main food, they'll usually have some snacky type stuff like chips, dip, salsa, popcorn, pretzels. Those are things I know I can eat. So even if they don't have anything to accommodate me eating a full meal, I'll have some snacks, I'll have some drinks, you know, stuff like that. Sometimes I will eat before I go if I'm unsure and I don't really know what the vibe is going to be, what the food options are going to be. I make sure that I'm not starving before I get there. Now sometimes if people know that you do have different dietary needs, they will be accommodating, and that is awesome. That is great. But sometimes they just won't bend to fit what you like, and this to me is a great life lesson, and that is you have to be okay with standing alone sometimes. You have to be okay with living in your truth. You have to be okay with maybe being the odd man out, and You just have to suck it up and be that person. I've already told y'all that in my family, in my friend group, I'm the only one that does not eat meat. And luckily for me, when we do have get-togethers, a lot of times they will make sure that I have something to eat, which I don't impose on them at all. I don't like to make people feel like they have to do anything special for me. So I usually just, bring something for myself. But I've been in situations where I was around people that I didn't really know that well, and there was nothing. So you gotta just be okay and not give into something that you don't feel comfortable with. Another thing that people have been dealing with are naysayers. When you let it be known that, hey, I want to start going on a vegan diet, or I've already gone completely plant-based, sometimes you might get some people coming out of the woodworks who all of a sudden they want to turn into nutritionists and down your decision on what you want to eat. Now, if someone isn't familiar with a plant-based diet and they start questioning you, they want to know more about what you eat, how to do XYZ, and they're just inquisitive and they just want to get a better understanding, then that's terrific. That's great. However, if someone is just straight up nasty and rude to you, you have to know that it's usually not about you, it's about them. Because no one in their right mind will get mad at the next person who wants to eat fruits and vegetables. That's just completely outlandish. You also get those ones, the $1 million question. And we all know what that is. Where do you get your protein? Where do I begin? Quinoa, tofu, tempeh, chickpeas, most beans, breads made from sprouted grains like Ezekiel bread, oats, nuts, nut butters. I mean, the list is long. Supplements. People ask me sometimes if I supplement my diet with any type of vitamins and stuff like that. I don't personally take any vitamins. I used to take them when I was pregnant. I had a prenatal vitamin and then I was taking it a little bit after I gave birth, but I haven't taken that in over a year. I just make sure my diet is very diverse. I'm getting a lot of green leafy vegetables, I'm getting a lot of grains, I'm getting some good fats from nuts and nut butters, and anytime I've gotten my levels checked, they have been spot on. They have been A1. I do use nutritional yeast, which is fortified with B12. I use that in my cooking. I use it in a lot of my cashew based cheesy sauces. I use it also a lot as a topping on my popcorn. So B12 I know is a concern on a vegan diet. You can take a B12 supplement, or you can do like I do and use fortified nutritional yeast in your cooking. And then also someone had commented when I asked this question on my channel about the challenges of going plant-based, and someone said that reading the back of every label when you're starting out can definitely be time consuming because some foods may contain animal products that you wouldn't suspect. So yes, in the beginning especially, you do have to be careful. You do have to read the labels and get, acclimated to what's what. But once you get your staple foods down, once you get your go-to products, that becomes less and less as you go on. I don't find myself having to read labels that much anymore, only if I'm buying something new that I've never bought before. And periodically I'll check the stuff that I'm used to buying and make sure it's still good. And when you're buying more whole foods, more non-processed foods, that just goes away completely. Like raw vegetables, fruits, dry beans, nuts, stuff like that, because what you see is what you get. So yeah guys, those were my tips, my advice for anyone who may want to embark on a plant-based diet. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks so much for watching guys, as always, and I'll catch up with you soon on my next video. Bye.